Over 2,000 years ago, Rome stood at the very top of the ancient world, an empire stretching from Britain and France to Egypt and the Middle East, the most powerful military, the most advanced legal system, and one of the brightest civilizations in human history. For generations, we were told that Rome fell because of foreign invasions, barbarian armies, and the collapse of military strength. But the truth is far more shocking. Rome didn't fall because of the sword. Rome fell because of its money. So how did the most trusted currency on earth turn into the spark that burned down the greatest empire of the ancient world? In this video, we'll uncover why Roman money was once trusted across 3 continents, who truly controlled the empire through its currency, how debasement destroyed the value of Roman money and the trust that held the empire together, and the uncomfortable question, is the same pattern happening again today? To understand how an empire rises and how it falls, we start with its money. Rome used a 3-tiered currency system. At the top was the aureus, nearly pure gold, reserved for major transactions, paying top generals, international trade, massive construction, and tribute between provinces. It was the reserve currency of the ancient world, saved, stored, and rarely spent by ordinary citizens. The daily economy ran on silver, with the denarius at its core. It paid salaries, fueled domestic trade, and represented a Roman citizen's standard of living. It was the paycheck, the savings, and the safety net of everyday life. For small purchases, like bread, fruit, wine, or a ticket to the gladiator games, people used bronze coins, the sestertius and as, the ancient equivalent of pocket change. Rome then unified this system across its territories. 1 aureus equals 25 denarii, equals 100 sestertii, equals 400 asses. And after defeating Carthage in the Punic Wars, Rome flooded the empire with gold and silver, allowing it to standardize this system. The denarius, introduced in 211 BCE, with 95 to 98% silver purity, became the international trade standard of the ancient world. From Spain to Judea, from North Africa to Britain, people used the same money. It was the first truly global currency in history. But the larger Rome grew, the more dangerous money became, not just an economic tool, but a weapon in politics. By the 1st century BCE, Rome was tearing itself apart with civil wars between power-hungry generals, Marius, Sulla, Pompey, and Julius Caesar. And whoever controlled the money controlled the soldiers and controlled Rome. After conquering Gaul, Caesar brought back over 1.5 million kilograms of silver, using it to pay troops and buy political loyalty. Money bought armies. Armies decided power. After Caesar's assassination, Augustus rose to power in 27 BCE and made one brilliant and risky move. He centralized monetary control. The emperor alone could mint gold and silver. The Senate reduced to minting low-value bronze coins. In one stroke, the Senate controlled market money. The emperor controlled power money. And because the emperor paid the army served the emperor. From that moment on, Rome's power structure ran on one formula: money to army to throne. But this concentration of power also created a fatal weakness. When everything depends on one leader making the right choices, what happens when that leader doesn't? Trouble began after the Great Fire of Rome in 64 CE. Emperor Nero quietly reduced the silver purity of the denarius from about 98% to 93.5%, then to 90% to fund reconstruction and maintain imperial luxury. Later emperors kept pushing it further. By the 3rd century, the denarius contained less than 5% silver. The coins looked the same, but the value was gone. Then came the chain reaction. Food prices skyrocketed. Soldiers demanded higher pay. Provinces broke away and minted their own currency. Trade collapsed. Bartering returned. As historian Edward Gibbon wrote, Rome rotted from within, long before it was conquered from without. For over 400 years, Rome survived with a conquest model. Expand the empire, take new lands, seize wealth, and use it to fund the empire. But when expansion stopped, the system broke. By the 4th century, Rome was no longer receiving tribute. Instead, it was paying gold just to buy peace from invading tribes. The empire that once forced nations to pay tribute was now paying tribute to survive. Rome's fatal mistake wasn't using gold and silver, nor was it simply printing too much money. Its real failure was allowing political power to corrupt the currency. There was no independent monetary system, no limits on debasement, no transparency. The value of money depended on the morality, or greed, of whoever sat on the throne. And once trust in the currency died, the empire crumbled with it. By 395 CE, Rome had to split into East and West to survive. The Western Empire fell in 476, breaking into small kingdoms of medieval Europe, and plunging the West into 600 years of the Dark Ages. The Eastern Empire, the Byzantine Empire, survived another 1,000 years, but Rome's glory never returned. Rome didn't fall in a single dramatic battle. It fell slowly, silently, through the erosion of trust in its money. Lose territory, and an empire can still fight back. Lose the currency, and everything collapses. History leaves us with a warning. Armies protect borders, but money and the trust behind it protects empires. Because a nation is only as strong as the value of the money its people believe in, and when that belief is broken, the empire falls, just like Rome.